Hello everybody and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Today we are on a new map. I don't actually remember the name of it. Proving Grounds there by Nikuxis. It's, or Nikuxis. I don't quite know how you pronounce the name, I'll be honest with you. And is primarily made as an 8v8. So we'll see how this goes. Playing as 3v3s here. And the middle of the map is across here, as you can see, a diagonal with a open area in the center with 3 geos on the reverse diagonal there. There we go. And then either side here is kind of like a lane kind of play. That is the easiest way of explaining it. So normal start positions for 8v8s are as follows, where VBD is spawned. One here, where random variable is. Here, and where Mori, however you pronounce this, Morigi? When I say Morigi. But yeah, it's Team APM versus Team MADO. This was a replay that was sent in to me by one of the MADO members. Just as hey, we've done some practicing as a team. Feel free to show us off and show off the awesome replay. He did send me like 5, so I have picked one for your viewing pleasure today. And we have on the team MADO, Dr. Sen, Busy Jack, and finally Jerome. So I'm going to pronounce that. Me being British, well known for not being able to pronounce words that I don't know correctly. And so we have Cortex bots, Cortex vehicles, and finally Armada vehicles for MADO. And Team APM have Armada vehicles, Cortex vehicles, and Armada. So 2 Armada, 1 Cortex for APM, 2 Cortex, 1 Armada for Team MADO. Now, the early stage is going to be quite slow due to the fact that this is obviously a 8v8 map. So we're not expecting too much to happen in this early stage. But basically, all we're going to see here is working out where people's bases are. And that's exactly what we're seeing with this scout push. Just getting a little bit of knowledge. They know that if we select one of the APM members, they know that there is a base here and that this and this spawn are empty. They're probably, there we go, they're seeing Dr. Sen now. So they know that Dr. Sen is probably here due to how long they've had for the comm to walk. And then they were seeing green coming from there, like this direction. So they probably think green is there, which is exactly where they are. Whereas for the other side, they have very little knowledge as to where things are. They know a red is somewhere around here due to this tick and LLT that's been placed. But other than that, not too much information here. Finally, finding a base here of red, so they'll know where that one is. And they find VBD's base as well. But the Blitz unable to catch up, and now also spotting orange. So that all bases now pretty much discovered. This map is a solar only map, so no wind whatsoever. There is somehow 20 tidal strength because, you know, space has a lot of water for you to, you know, build tidal generators on. Now, one thing that is interesting here is that Random is taking a lot of the metal extractors. He is taking 2 extra spawns worth of metal extractors, not leaving any for VBD. Will Random Variable be able to eat this other scout in time? He's not really paying attention. It does look like he is going to get it in time, though. Yeah. Expansion con down. But VBD not really getting much in the way of metal extractors so far. You know, there's the one behind his base, one up here, completely exposed right now, as well as all of these along the line. Finally, the scouts around the back are starting to get cleared up. There's still this one left, which is running away, so it's not really that big a deal. Huge amount more scouts, though, on their way in. And due to the size of this map, this is exactly when you want to be using all these fast units. You can see that no one's really transitioned over to any more tankier units, which you would have definitely seen already if this was in an 8v8 situation. You would have started seeing Roccos or Thugs already. But no, because of the open nature of this map, it's pretty difficult to deal with that. So mostly raider units, although funnily enough we do actually see Thugs and rocket bots out from Jerome here. Now VBD has done a good job here of splitting off his blitzes to try and take some aggro from multiple places, forcing the units to be moved around. Now these blitzes should make pretty short work of all of these metal extractors hit. At the same time, a huge wave of more scouts are making their way in. They're probably going to get killed off though before they manage to get... Oh, they do manage to break through. Good drive-by on the metal extractor there, and these metal extractors in the back have no defenses. Clearly expecting no one to be able to break through the lines, but that is definitely what's happened. And there is a second wave of grunts coming in from random variable here down the exact same path. And what this is doing is it's kind of splitting Jerome off from his teammates here. There's a big open path right down this line, which is pretty hard to contain. Random has decided to fall back though, with Busy Jack moving up to the front and using his forces here to actually block that attack off. There is now a hole on this side though, so we'll see if Random makes the most of that hole. Meanwhile, VBD with very few units, a lot of open mexes, VBD not making the most of. We're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 metal extractors completely uncapped by VBD. He's only now just starting to move to cap them. His teammates have, well, as you can clearly see, well ahead of him, sorted all of that already. So, bit of a weak link for his team at the moment. Good teamwork though between Random and VBD here, managing to catch this incisor force of Busy Jack in between their forces, getting some good flanking damage and making very, very short work of that army. Now we can see that Jerome has brought his units up here as well, leaving this side pretty much abandoned. It won't take much to push through at just 2 LLTs, but a lot of reclaim to be had here now. 1.8k metal is a lot of reclaim to have on the field at 8 minutes. And it does look like Jerome is planning on pushing hard through this hole. Random variable does spot it in time, but there is a big force still left here that can push through at any moment. BBD's commander is potentially at risk here if he's not careful. Just look at the rate in which units are pumping out here. And this is all down to look how many metal points Jerome has. Jerome has 2 extra start positions worth of metal, and VBD has none. All of that extra metal is going to random variable with 1, 2, 3 extra start positions. So not really spreading their economy out well, APM. But this might be their plan. Their plan might be literally, right, VBD, just hold your lane. Don't push up. Just hold. Use as little metal as possible while Random takes as much metal as possible and just pressures really hard in mid. And if that is the case, so far VBD is doing a very good job holding off, but he is building a forward vehicle lab here in an attempt to try and hold this a bit longer. With rocket bots, though, arriving, these LLTs will be nothing but wrecks very, very soon. And I do agree with what Nova said here. This map is very much just glitters with space. VBD's comm, though, it wasn't paying attention, and there goes VBD's comm. A great attack by Jerome here, just instantly going in, taking out the comm, and still loads of units left. All of the LLTs that were holding the line are gone. And VBD decides to not continue that push, which is probably the right move. He doesn't really have enough forces to deal with that. He is trying to control the reclaim field here, but he may end up just adding more and more to it. He doesn't have resbots nearby, and this is almost 4k worth of metal. VBD down to a handful of units, and as he stops paying attention, his units are just taking more and more damage. The vehicle plant will go up in time, and main tanks and Janice's will be what comes out. Should be prioritizing the commander wreck, which he is, and random variable sending reinforcements round from the flank, gifting them to VBD. But with twin guards here and a commander, it may prove difficult to hold this. He needs to take out that factory ideally, but he's just taking too much attrition. VBD is getting pretty much all of the reclaim though. And just taking constant damage from this twin guard here, and that's going to be enough to whittle down the forces of VBD. And both players now pretty much with nothing left. But the reclaim now, though, is all in Jerome's side. Oh, sorry, Giron's side. Busy Jack transitioned to Tech 2 here. Both players did, but we can see Random is still pushing out mostly Tech 1. Dr. Sen is doing tremendous, though, up the top here versus Muraji, which is really struggling to hold on. Huge waves of forces moving by. Pawns very badly positioned here in a ball as the blitzes just run straight by. And that is a huge force that has now managed to break through the lines. And the fact that Dr. Sen has managed to push up this far, bear in mind VBD is holding like here and like here. So the fact that Dr. Sen has managed to push this far versus their highest OS player, OS of 40, bear in mind, versus a 29, and Dr. Sen is just piling in. And at the bottom, some Tech 2 has started to arrive. A Banisher probably would have been better here than a Tiger, but Jerome did manage to get most of the reclaim. Oh, but the blitzes mostly did get taken out. According to Scanner, it looks like that was mainly from Janice's. Tremendous value if that was the case. And here we see the Banisher. Still lots of reclaim here. 2.5k. This is where most of the fighting is taking place at the moment. There is still a slow whittle down here for Muraji, just building more and more LLTs. Like, that is not helping your issue. But he's having to send everything up here to try and stem this tide. Meanwhile, Random Variable needs to kind of just make a move somewhere. He is trying to kill Busy Jack. Busy Jack's comm down to 4%, 2%, 1%. 55 health left in total. All he needs to do is get... Oh, the Banisher! Oh my god, I thought the Banisher was going to shoot Busy Jack's comm there. But we did miss it, but it looks like Dr. Sen lost his comm on the north side here. Yep. And that will leave a bit of a gap now where maybe Red can start to push back. It is mostly just LLTs just everywhere. Now, Dr. Sen is building a very, very forward factory here. Will this be enough to save the day? We'll find out. BBD still doing a very good job at holding the line here. I'm impressed that he's able to hold off against Jerome for such a long time with such a little amount of units. But now might be the time when that goes bye-bye as Jerome manages to break through the defensive position. Not only that, with an artillery now in position, VBD has to push back quick. Tigers are doing enough to hold on for now. Oh, but again, sorry about that. We missed this comm going down. Amount of banishers was enough to take random variable down, leaving just Myoji's comm left here at the top for Team APM. Zara on the front line here will slowly whittle it down, but with a Fat Boy and a Banisher and some really, really bad micro, this Zara is going to get destroyed very quickly. This Tech 1 spam just proving sufficient to keep Miraji at bay. The Cerberus has been built in the center, but against this many Banishers and Tigers, I don't think it's going to last very long. And this is a lot of build power here to be losing. He's had to feed his teammates too many forces, random variable, and unfortunately both lanes are falling. VBD unable to hold on any longer. He did go air and built a bunch of fighters, which he hasn't really needed up till now. And this big green force now from Busy Jack was about to move down and assist drone here, but it's no longer needed. And I think this is pretty much the end for VBD. He has no real factory or build power left, and these forces are just going to pile into the back line here. Miraji idle build power right now, doesn't have the metal to build anything else. And this Tech 1 assault is just enough to just push through all of these defenses, and both red and yellow will die at the pretty much same time here. Miraji is the last comm, remember, and this will be the end for Miraji if he's not careful with his D-guns, but the flank and the sprinters come in at the same time. And APM go down. It just looks like their plan didn't pay off. Team MADO split their economy very evenly. I did not actually want to click that button. They split their economy very evenly. Jerome got, a couple of extra spots. Busy Jack got, 1 extra spot. And Dr. Sen got 2 extra spots. Whereas, on the opposite side here, VBD got nothing extra. Everything went to random in the middle. He got, 3 extra spots. So random really needed to carry a lot more in the center to make up for that. And he did do a lot, but with both his side lanes really struggling, it just wasn't enough. Well, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all next time.